Hello everyone, welcome to this lesson of English of today. We are going to start with a brand new folder, folder 5, which is called Urban Nation. And in this folder we will deal with some topics. First of all, we are going to learn about an ecological footprint and learn how to sort waste. And therefore we have to think about our way of living that affects the environment. We are going to start immediately with some very famous cities. One of the most famous, obviously, is New York. I would like to ask you who has been to New York, but unfortunately this is not an interactive lesson, so I will perhaps ask you next week. We have some pictures of New York just in front of us, not only of New York, but of some very famous cities. I was watching this picture, which is obviously of New York because we see Times Square. This picture with the buildings with the skyscrapers is a picture of Hong Kong. Here we see, perhaps a little bit less obvious, the city of Liverpool, also a very nice city to visit, and we can only dream about visiting cities at the moment, but we still dream. It is something which is not prohibited, which is allowed. Here we see Toronto, Canada. This is the very famous Golden Bridge of San Francisco. The Americans often call it Frisco in short. And this, of course, if we see the signs of the subway, of the underground, this is London. I will guide you through this folder for a few minutes, and then afterwards you can do the exercise, or you can pause this video doing the exercise and then we'll continue. It's up to you how you deal with it. So the situation is as follows. You are on a holiday with a friend in New York and you would like to see what this beautiful city has to offer. So we have a lot of famous hotspots of New York, which you can see here. And on the next page you have a map of New York. So it's the idea that you match those hotspots with the places on the map. As an example, the Empire State Building you can see in number 3. Sometimes it is quite obvious. If you've been to New York, it is even more obvious, but you can also use the internet, Google Maps, to help you out with this first exercise. So please do this exercise now or later at the end of the video. Okay, now you have finished that. I would like you to ask 4 points of interest that you want to visit. Perhaps you also take in mind that I might ask you in class why you have chosen those 4 points of interest. So if you say, I want to visit the Empire State Building, tell us why you want to visit it. Okay, that is exercise 2.2. Then this is the map, as you can see and follow in your book. We are going to skip exercise 2.3 and then we have 2.4. You have agreed on which place to visit, but first you want to go see your Aunt Emily, who is currently at Ramsey Playfield with her children. You are already in Central Park at the junction near Wagner Cove, but you don't know which way to go. Read the dialogue. It says listen, but you're going to read the dialogue and draw the correct route on the map in pencil. And you can use the transcript to write down the correct instructions and words under the picture. Not everything can be found in the transcript. So here you have the transcript, here you have the map. Draw it in pencil, please. You can read this cultural item about the street patterns, very interesting. And then you can also do this exercise in which you have to fill in all those topics. As an example, for instance, look at the arrow. It says a bend, and we all see what a bend is. This building is, of course, on the corner of the street, so you fill in a corner. So please fill in all the other traffic elements, as I would like to call them. Perhaps you've seen a few of them last year too, I remember that. Okay, so good luck with that. And then exercise 2.5, it is the idea that you write the prepositions of place under the corresponding picture. So we see all those kind of pictures of the empire, of the Statue of Liberty. And here it is that idea. Here you can see that the man is behind the statue. Here he is in front of, and please fill in all the other prepositions. Then you see the conversation skills, which we can practice once we are back in class, and read them very carefully. Very important to know is that you always ask, if you ask for attention, you say excuse me to someone. Excuse me. We don't say pardon. If you say pardon, it's because you did not hear the person. So excuse me is to draw someone's attention. And then you ask your question, how you could get to one place or another. You can ask could you or can you. The difference between could and can is that could is more polite than can. So most of the time, if you don't know the person, you say, could you tell me how to get to the Statue of Liberty, please, for instance. So there are a few possibilities how to ask for directions. If you give directions, you most of the time use an imperative. Gebieden de wijs. An imperative in which you say, go straight on, walk along the street, at the crossroads, turn left. So you every time use an imperative, which makes it much more clear for the person whom you are speaking to or talking to. So that will be all for this first lesson. Not too much, of course, but I want you to do the exercises in a correct way rather than you only do half work. So do them very well, those exercises. We continue with another film tomorrow, or another video tomorrow, and we'll have a correction next week in class. I will then check whether you did all your exercises, and I will also mark your work, of course. Good luck until tomorrow.